So, I should probably start by introducing myself and pulling out my bra strap. Hi, my name is Hannah, and I want to put this online for the Tumblr campaign. Post it forward because I remember seeing it and feeling really inspired. Like, I thought it was so cool because usually I like doing nice things for other people, and so this is kind of my nice thing to the general public, I guess. So, what I really want to start with is just kind of talking about me and I guess some of the things I've dealt with before. So, I used to have what you call a better than you complex. I think it's also called like Napoleon complex kind of thing. Hold on, my Facebook dinged. Jasper, come in and post your tag in. What Jasper have to say for me? Oh yeah, I've seen this already. Anyways, and so what I really wanted to talk about was my better than you complex. I guess I don't know if it's necessarily narcissistic. I've never really been narcissistic because what I would do is like say for example, I graduated high school a week or so ago, and what I would do is that in class, I would look at those people who didn't want to work, who didn't put forth the effort to things. I would rather play games or talk with friends rather than work on assignments, and I'd think, wow, really, shithead? You're going to do that to the teacher? That is disrespectful. And so I would work my ass off to make sure I did a project better than them so that the teacher could have something to be like, oh, well, at least my whole class isn't full of shitheads, so I'm okay. And I got this attitude a lot. With a lot of different things. Like, it was mainly whenever it came to school, but sometimes it was at work or with my friends. I would think, wow, you can't do this? What are you? Seriously, you're immature, you haven't grown up yet, you're stupid, you're careless, you're reckless. And I would insult people all the time. That was how I comforted myself. Whenever I fell down, I'd say, at least I'm better than that person. And really, wow, that is not really a good way to think, in my opinion. Because gonna share a little thing about y'all. In truth, I am like right on the edge of being 6 feet tall. And so I've always been taller than pretty well everybody I've known, like all my classmates, a lot of my teachers, I mean, most of my family. I tower over a lot of people. And I think because that's part of the reason I got that complex, as it were. And so it was difficult trying to bond with somebody because I thought, in some way, I'm better than you, you're better than me. And this whole mental one-sided one-upmanship for me. I had to be better than them at everything so that way they could look up to me because everybody looked up to me because I was tall and I was smart and I was awesome and all this, right? But I didn't think I was smart or awesome. I thought that I was stupid because I couldn't do as good as someone else did. I thought I was dumb because I wasn't as pretty as another girl or something like that, and that did not help my case at all. It made it really difficult to have faith in myself for a lot of things. It was really bad a lot of times. I got to the point where I wanted to hurt myself. Got to the point where I wanted to hurt other people. And I think on accident I probably did hurt a lot of people I know. And it made it really hard to love myself knowing that there's always something I wouldn't be good enough to do. Something I always wouldn't be good at. Just because I wasn't someone else. And that sucked. I hated that, because I always compared myself to someone else. I never tried to consider myself to be good enough for someone. Or to be good enough for anything. That's why I feel like I can't hold down a stable relationship because I always think to myself I'm not good enough, I'm not a nice girlfriend because I don't text them enough, or I don't talk to them enough, or I don't give them enough things, or, I'm not affectionate enough. I felt that way a lot. And so, a couple weeks before graduation, I did this little social experiment, I guess, where I dressed the way I wanted to, acted the way I thought was right, and I followed and I said what I felt was right for the time. And yes, it caused some disruptions in the chain. I didn't sleep as much. I didn't eat in a very healthy manner. I stopped exercising a lot. And, wow, I almost failed senior year. Like, literally, I was that close. At a time, I was not going to graduate. It was that bad. And that was terrifying for me. I was scared out of my wits, but the cool part was that I wasn't regretting any of my decisions. I was excited. I was like, yeah, I looked forward to every day doing something else. Because, the thing is that the week of graduation, the week before graduation, my birthday was that Wednesday. So I was building up to my birthday, doing all these big, awesome, gigantic things for it, Like, I was going to make a movie, I was going to premiere the movie, I was going to have a before show party, all this great stuff. Of course, spoiler alert, that didn't happen. The movie's not really made because, newsflash, trying to make a movie in like 3 weeks is not easy. Really not easy. And so I tried to do other stuff instead. Like, for example, my parents moving into an RV, and I'm joining the Navy. So, long story short, I have to downsize on everything I own. So I wanted to spend money on experiences. So I would, like, spend money to go to Starbucks with my friends, or I would spend money to get somebody else a gift. Or, like, I remember my birthday, it was so cool for me, because what I did is I took a lot of my old stuff, and I thought to myself, who would like this? And so, I think to myself, oh, M would like this. And so I wrapped it up. And so I put it in a box, I taped down the box, I wrapped it in gold wrapping paper, and I gave it to that friend that morning. Of course the friend's like, no, it's your birthday, I need to give you a gift. And I was like, no, take it please, it's from me, I'm giving it to you because I love you, kind of thing. And they'd say, oh, okay, they'd open it up, and they'd get all emotional. Like, one friend I gave my old pair of headphones, because I wasn't using them at all, they were just kind of there. So I was like, well, I remember she used them, and she was like, these are really nice. So I gave them to her to use, and I felt glad. I was like, yeah, I'm giving this to a friend that's gonna use them, right? And of course she was like, no, take these are yours. And I'm sure in a way it wasn't right because she felt bad, but still, it was something I wanted to do. Something I wanted to do out of the kindness of my heart. And all those give people gifts, and they're all like, oh, yay, and all this kind of stuff, right? And I mean, I'd given them throughout, and a lot of people assumed I was being kicked out of my house, that, I was going through something really traumatizing, and somebody had died. But none of that was true. It was just, for once, I felt like being myself, and it felt great. I felt more feminine. I felt more confident. I felt like I really had something going for me, like I had a future ahead of me, finally. That I wasn't afraid of the next day. That I wasn't afraid of graduation, or of turning 18, or whatever else. And that was really awesome for me. I mean, a lot of people probably think I'm a shithead for it, because I'm not listening, or I'm not doing as much nice things, or whatever else, I'm not acting the same, but that didn't bother me. I was not concerned with that, really. And so, one of the things, it's weird because I would feel bad for being myself a lot before. I would regret a lot of my decisions. I thought, idiot, why did you do that? That was a bad choice. Like, oh, you said this instead of saying that, and now they're gonna hate you forever. And so then after that, every time they interacted with me, I assumed they were doing it because they pitied me, or because, they thought, oh, yeah, well, I'm dealing with you because they like you and not because I like you. And, God, that made me feel so bad. I really wanted to hurt myself a lot. Not that I did, no. Totally clean. Got no scars, I promise. A lot of times that would have been different. But, yeah, I got over it, I stood up, and, it's like, for example, there are times I really want to hurt myself. And before I would say, I'm better than that. That's not me. I will not do that. Lesser people do that. I'm not a lesser person. But now it's like, I'm not going to do that because my skin is beautiful. My skin has a nice complexion. My skin looks awesome, even though it's got little splatters of paint all over it from painting this afternoon, and I'm not going to do that because that would be blemishing the perfect picture, and that's not okay. And I'm sure a lot of people can see that as arrogant, but I see it as pretty cool. I mean, I like the fact that I love myself now. It feels great. Like, also convert from Christianity to Buddhism. I share a personal spiel. To me, Buddhism is more about doing things for other people, living a life that you'll be proud of at the end of it. And living it for that because it's your life. Because in Christianity, I'm sorry if this offends you, it's life to me is not independent action. Everything you do is part of God's plan, or God puts you there for a reason, or whatever else. In Buddhism, it's, look, man, you messed up this time, now you get to fix it, I mean, and the thing is, like, in Christianity, all sins weigh the same, quote unquote. So, killing a guy is the same as lying to your parents. In Buddhism, though, killing a guy is terrible and bad and not good. Lying to somebody to help them feel better, not as bad, still bad, but not as bad, and it can be fixed. I mean, I don't know if the whole reincarnation thing still applies, but I know, at least in Hinduism, reincarnation, to be reincarnated as a human is the highest honor, So if you're reincarnated as a human, that's because the universe has faith in you, because Buddha thinks that, you can move on and do great things. Whatever, that you've worked your way up that chain, you've done enough good things to get there. That's awesome. It's like, gives you motivation right off the bat. As opposed to, you have sinned because you're human, and you will keep sinning because you are human. That doesn't really help me. It's like my mom said, whenever she would test out a new church, like the church down the street, she says fire and brimstone. It's always, oh, if you do a bad thing, you'll be punished for life, and that's not good to do anything because you're always gonna sin. And I'm sorry. This is partially because my grandmother, because at my graduation dinner, she basically told me, you can't be a Buddhist. Just flat out. That's all she said. And she kept moving on with the conversation. Instead of telling me that was just something little, insignificant, not important. To me, it's great, because with this new religion, I love myself. It's not something I've done before. And, dear, it's still stuck with me. I know it shouldn't stick with me. But it stuck with me. And so, this is partially an explanation of why I'm doing this. And no, I'm not going to show her this video. I'm sure she'll stumble upon it somewhere, but I'm not going to show her this video. So I am honored that I've finally made the decision that I'm proud of myself. And then true, there are a couple different parts of Buddhism that I'm probably not upholding. Like, I'm not a vegetarian. I don't usually cover up. I don't dress modestly, at least not anymore. And really, I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome. And this is great. I guess the moral of the story is never depreciate yourself. Never undervalue what you can do, because I am more than sure there's something about you that is awesome and great and amazing. Hold on. Gotta make sure this isn't distracting me. There's like a little video thing going on. Anyways. Let's get serious here, right? Okay. Ready for this? Come close. Alright, you close? Good. Look me in the eye. Repeat after me. I am good enough. I am smart enough. And doggone it, people like me. Now repeat that to yourself until it feels true, until you feel like everything you say is exactly what it is. Write stuff down. I mean, write down every good thing about you. Write down everything you think you're smart at. Write down every person you think loves you. You know, do whatever it takes to make sure that is true every single day. To me, that is the trick to the perfect lifestyle. Just do that. Love yourself in one way or another every day. Even if, like for me, it's, oh wow, I made a great lunch today. That was a good lunch. It's still a good thing about me. I'm not going to discredit that, you know? And I'm thinking to myself, I'll make a great lunch for somebody else one day. Whether it's, 5 minutes in the future, whether it's 5 years in the future. I'm going to do something great in the future because I did something great now. It's going to carry forward. I'm going to pass it forward or pay it forward or whatever you want to call it. So, again, come close, alright? I promise. Even if there's nobody in your life that you think loves you, there's going to be somebody. It's just sometimes pride makes it difficult for someone to admit that. It makes it hard for someone to say, you're important to me. So sometimes, to quote a Tumblr post saw, people don't always say I love you. Sometimes they say be careful. Sometimes they say have a good day. Sometimes they say what do you want for lunch? It all really just depends, you know? And so, to me, the worst fate is not being loved. So whoever you are, whatever you're doing, I promise I'll love you. I have no problem doing that. I have enough love to give out to everybody. I love myself so much, in the best way possible. I love myself. So, I mean, if you're feeling bad, if you're feeling sad, if you feel like you're not good enough, inbox me. Let me get to know you. I promise with all my heart to fly with magic to the land of art. I'm just kidding. I promise with all my heart there will be something about you that I can and will find beautiful, and I will remind you every day. It's like there's a poem by Phil K. and Sarah K. that goes, love is not what you're expecting, love is not what you can predict. And it's like, love will tell you are beautiful over and over again. It's like, I have to recall the part. It's one of my favorite lines from a poem ever. Like, seriously, my motivation is spoken poets. I watch spoken poetry all the time. It is so important to me. And if that's what you need to cope, watch spoken poetry. But it's like also there's one line that Sarah Kay says before she performs the type. And it's by a poet named Richard II. And the line goes, everyone deserves a place. It shouldn't be inside of someone else. And maybe this whole thing is contradictory to that, but the thing is I found my place, and it's not within someone else. It's within me. True, it took a while to dig up, and it took a while to find, but I found it. And I'm only 18. There's a whole future ahead of me. I realize that. So I'm just going full steam ahead at whatever happens, I'm excited for whoever I get to become one day. I'm not scared anymore. And that is the best feeling for me. That is great that I'm not afraid of the future anymore, that I'm excited for it. And I want you to be excited for the future. I want you to think every day is a miracle. I want you to think every day is a gift, that whatever's happening to you is a good thing. It's going to help you. And the people who break you down are only doing it so someone else can build you back up. And the people who tell you you are shit are actually telling you you are hot shit. You know? And so I just, I try to be a counselor to everybody I meet. It's my weakness. It's my kryptonite. Sad people are my kryptonite. So, if you need help, let me know. I'm here for you. I promise I'm here for you. And if you don't want to message me, you're beautiful. And your eyes are an ocean. And I want to go swimming every single day. Stay awesome, stud muffin.